The stars looked different from the bridge of the KSS Dauntless. Commander Hyun stood with his hands clasped behind his back, watching the main screen. Earth's first deep space defense vessel had been patrolling the outer edge of the solar system for 3 months now. Most days were quiet. Today was not going to be one of those days. "Commander, we're picking up an unknown object entering the solar system," said Officer Suman, her eyes fixed on her monitor. "It's moving too fast for a natural body." Hyun moved closer. "Show me." The main screen changed to show a small dot moving against the star field. The object was sleek, metallic, and definitely not human-made. "It's slowing down," Suman said. "And it's changing course. It's heading toward Earth." "Alert Earth Defense Command," Hyun ordered, and moved to intercept. The Dauntless's engines hummed as the ship changed course. For years, humans had wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. "The object is scanning us," reported Technician Ki-Hyun. "It's using energy types we've never seen before." Hyun made a quick decision. Send the first contact message package on all frequencies. For decades, scientists had prepared for this moment. The message was simple: mathematical sequences proving intelligence, basic language primers, and peaceful greetings in multiple formats. Minutes passed. Dr. Jisoo stood before the United Nations Security Council, trying to keep her hands from shaking. 1 week after first contact, and the world's most powerful leaders were looking to her for answers. "The Tizeri language is complex, but follows logical patterns," she explained. "They use verbal hierarchies that show rank and importance. The way they speak to us suggests they see us as lesser beings." The American president leaned forward. "Lesser how, Dr. Jisoo?" "Like how we might view clever animals," she said. "They admire our technology, but seem surprised by it, as if they didn't expect us to be so advanced." The room fell silent. On the large screen behind Jisoo, images of the Tizeri ship now orbiting Earth rotated slowly. It was massive, nearly a kilometer long, and had arrived 3 days after Commander Hyun's initial contact. "They've requested a meeting with our resource allocation authorities," said the Chinese premier. "What does that mean?" Jisoo took a deep breath. "Based on their communications, I believe they see planets primarily as sources of materials. They've referred to Earth as a viable extraction point several times." Colonel Tahoe of the newly formed United Defense Force stood up. "They're here to take our resources. We should be preparing defenses, not talking." "We don't know that for certain," countered the British Prime Minister. "Their technology is centuries beyond ours. We should focus on what we can learn from them." The debate continued until the Secretary General raised his hand for silence. "Dr. Jisoo will lead our diplomatic team. Colonel Tahoe, continue defense preparations, but discreetly. We will meet with the Tizeri and hear what they want." The next day, Jisoo and 5 world leaders waited in a specially prepared room at UN headquarters. When the Tizeri delegation arrived, everyone was surprised. Instead of Captain Vexlar, they sent a junior official named Mektrol. "I speak for the resource division of the Tizeri Imperium," Mektrol announced. His translator device made his voice sound flat. "We are pleased your planet has unified leadership. It makes extraction agreements simpler." "Extraction agreements?" asked the German Chancellor. "Yes, your world has abundant nutritional resources the Imperium requires. We offer protection and limited technological exchange in return for regular resource shipments." Jisoo noticed how Mektrol's eyes scanned the room as if assessing items in a store. She stepped forward. "What specific resources are you interested in?" "Organic compounds unique to your ecosystems. Nothing you would miss significantly." The meeting continued for hours. Mektrol spoke about mutually beneficial arrangements and standard procedure for developing worlds, but provided few specifics. Later, in a private room, Jisoo met with her assistant Minjae and Colonel Tahoe. "They're hiding something," Tahoe said. Their body language showed contempt. Minjae nodded. "Did you notice how they avoided questions about other species?" Jisoo played back recordings of the meeting. Look at these language patterns. When they say protection, the grammatical structure indicates it's a threat, not an offer. How did they learn our languages so quickly? Tahoe wondered. They'd been watching us longer than they admitted, Jisoo said. And there's something else. When Mektrel discussed nutritional resources, his speech patterns changed. There was excitement in his voice. The door opened and a junior diplomat rushed in. The Russians and Americans are negotiating separate deals with the Tizari. They're offering military base locations in exchange for alien technology. Tahoe slammed his fist on the table. Fools. They'll give these aliens footholds on Earth. We need to warn them, Jisoo said. The Tizari aren't being honest about what they want. Will they listen? Minjae asked. Jisoo looked at the image of the massive alien ship on her tablet. They have to. I found something in the translation database. When the Tizari refer to lesser species in their own language, they use the same word as food source. Tahoe's face paled. Are you saying? I'm saying we need to be very careful, Jisoo replied. These aliens didn't cross the stars just to trade with us. They want something more, and I don't think we're going to like what it is. Outside the UN building, crowds gathered to catch glimpses of the alien visitors. They waved welcome signs and took pictures, unaware of the growing concern behind closed doors. Earth's first diplomatic mission with aliens was not going well at all. 2 weeks after first contact, the Tizari called for a global announcement. Screens around the world showed Mektrel standing before the United Nations. People of Earth, the Tizari Imperium has completed its resource survey, he began. We have determined your world is suitable for our needs. We require 30% of your global agricultural output, plus selected wildlife from your oceans, forests, and plains. The room erupted in chaos. Dr. Jisoo watched from the side, her worst fears coming true. This is not negotiable, Mektrel continued when the noise died down. The first collection ships will arrive in 60 days. Prepare the resources. The Secretary General stepped forward. What you ask is impossible. Taking that much food would cause worldwide famine. Billions would starve. Mektrel tilted his head, seeming genuinely confused. Your population management is not our concern. All developing worlds provide resources to the Imperium. This is standard procedure. We cannot and will not comply, the Chinese premier stated firmly. Mektrel's expression hardened. Perhaps you misunderstand your position. This is not a request. The Imperium has claimed your world as a resource site. You will comply or face regulatory action. After the Tizari left, emergency meetings began worldwide. In Seoul, Dr. Jisoo and Minjae worked frantically in their lab, analyzing every word of the aliens' communications. Look at this, Minjae said, pointing to his screen. When they talk about wildlife resources, they use specific terms that suggest selective breeding. Jisoo felt sick. They're not just taking our food. They're planning to farm Earth. Colonel Tahoe entered the lab with General Juwon, the newly appointed head of Earth's unified military response. The Americans tried to shoot down a Tizari scout ship, General Juwon announced. Their missiles didn't even reach it. Some kind of defense field stopped them. What happened then? Jisoo asked. Nothing. The Tizari didn't even respond. They just continued their survey as if it never happened. Tahoe paced the room. They don't see us as a threat. They think we're just animals. Maybe we can use that, Minjae suggested. Everyone turned to look at him. If they underestimate us, we might have an advantage. Jisoo's computer beeped with an incoming message. It was from a colleague in Japan who had intercepted communications between the Tizari ship and their home world. This is bad, she said, reading quickly. They're describing Earth as a prime harvest world, with excellent stock diversity. And look at this part about humans having optimal nutritional profiles. The room fell silent as the terrible truth became clear. They're not just taking our food, General Juwon said. We are the food. Outside the lab window, People went about their daily lives, most still excited about alien contact. News channels debated what alien technology might do for Earth. Only a few voices warned of danger. Later that evening, Jisoo met with a secret group of world leaders via secure video link. "We have 98% certainty," she explained. "The Tizeri consume other sentient species. They've done this before. When they talk about resources, they mean us." "How do we fight them?" asked the Brazilian president. "Their technology is too advanced." "We study it," said engineer Sunwoo, joining the call. "Every technology has weaknesses. We just need to find theirs." "And while we do that," the Indian Prime Minister asked, "we play along," General Jiwan suggested. "Make them think we're cooperating while we prepare. They expect us to be weak and divided. Let's show them how wrong they are." Jisoo looked at the faces on her screen. For the first time in human history, countries that had been enemies for generations were working together against a common threat. "There's something else you should know," she said. "In the Tizeri language, there's no word for surrender. They've never needed one. Every species they've encountered has either complied or been destroyed." Tahoe smiled grimly. "Then we'll have to teach them a new word." As night fell across Earth, millions of people looked up at the stars, unaware that humanity was quietly preparing for the greatest fight in its history. The Tizeri thought they had found easy prey. They were about to learn a painful lesson. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, engineer Sunwoo stared at the alien technology displayed on his screen. The Tizeri had destroyed a small drone that got too close to their ship. The remains had been secretly recovered and brought to this underground base. "Their energy signatures are unlike anything we've seen," Sunwoo told General Jiwan. "But look here." He pointed to a pattern in the data. "Their shields operate on a frequency cycle. There's a split-second gap every 43 seconds. Can we exploit that?" asked General Jiwan. "Maybe, but we'd need exact timing and a lot of power." Sunwoo ran his hand through his messy hair. "I've been studying the footage from their demonstration attack on Jeju Island. When they shut down all electronic systems, there was a brief electromagnetic pulse before their main weapon fired. What does that tell us? It suggests their weapons need to align with local electromagnetic fields before firing. If we could disrupt those fields at the right moment." Across the room, a young technician named Hannah raised her hand. "Sir, I think I found something in their communication patterns. Their ships transmit data bursts every 17 minutes. The signals are strongest just before and just after each burst." Sunwoo's eyes widened. "That's it. They must lower shields slightly to send clear transmissions. If we time our attacks to those moments, we might have a chance," General Jiwan finished. He looked around the room at the hundreds of scientists and engineers working day and night. People from 57 countries, all focused on one goal: finding ways to fight back. Meanwhile, in Geneva, Dr. Jisoo met with Lieutenant Doyen, who had been researching Tizeri history through their own database. The aliens had arrogantly given Earth limited access to their records, believing humans couldn't fully understand them. "They've done this before," Doyen explained, showing Jisoo his findings. "At least 17 other species have been conquered, and now provide resources to the Imperium. Any that successfully fought back?" Jisoo asked. 3 tried. One species called the Vortal nearly succeeded. They managed to destroy several Tizeri ships before they were defeated. "How did they do it?" "That information is blocked, but I found references to something called rapid molecular disruption. Whatever that is, it scared the Tizeri enough that they completely destroyed the Vortal homeworld." Jisoo made notes on her tablet. "We need to find out more about this technology." Across the globe, humanity prepared in secret. On the surface, governments appeared to be complying with Tizeri demands. Farmland was being converted to grow the specific crops the aliens requested. Fishing fleets were being redirected to catch the seafood they demanded. But underground, in oceans, and on the far side of the moon, humans built weapons and trained soldiers. Old enemies became allies. Scientists shared secrets. For the first time in history, Earth was truly united. In Tokyo, a team led by Dr. Mayung created special communication devices that the T-Zeri couldn't detect. In Berlin, military strategists planned coordinated attacks from hidden bases. In Cairo, doctors developed antidotes to alien bioweapons they feared might come. 30 days after the T-Zeri's demand, they sent a demonstration. A small T-Zeri ship positioned itself over an uninhabited island in the Pacific. With a flash of blue light, all electronic systems on the island shut down. The message was clear: comply or face worse. What the T-Zeri didn't know was that the island had been prepared. Hidden sensors recorded everything. Every bit of data was immediately sent to Sunwoo's team. "This is it," Sunwoo exclaimed, watching the readings. "Their weapons create a specific energy field before firing. If we can generate the opposite field pattern, we could neutralize their weapons." Hana finished. General Juan nodded. "How soon can you build a prototype?" 2 weeks, maybe less. "You have 10 days. The T-Zeri expect their first resource shipment in 15 days. As they spoke, in orbit around Earth, the T-Zeri were confident. They had done this many times before. Primitive worlds always submitted. They had no idea that beneath them, humans were preparing a welcome they would never forget. "Let them think we're weak," General Juan told his staff. "When they come to collect, they'll learn what happens when you threaten Earth." The main T-Zeri ship hovered over New York City, casting a shadow over the United Nations building. Inside the General Assembly Hall, Mektrel stood before Earth's leaders. His blue skin seemed to glow under the lights. "Your grace period is over," he announced. "You have 30 Earth days to prepare the first resource shipment. We require 20 million tons of organic material and 5,000 live specimens." The room was silent. Everyone knew what live specimens meant. "And if we cannot meet these demands?" asked the Secretary General. Mektrel's vertical pupils narrowed. "Then we will implement regulatory action. Your coastal cities will be the first to experience our displeasure." After the T-Zeri left, the real meeting began. Only the most trusted leaders and advisors remained in the room. "We're not ready," said the Russian president. "Our weapons need more time." "Time we don't have," replied General Juan. "But we do have something else. Information." Lieutenant Do-Yun stepped forward with a tablet. "I've gained deeper access to the T-Zeri historical database. The aliens they've defeated in the past shared one common mistake. They fought alone." He showed images of strange worlds and alien species. The T-Zeri always isolate each world they target. They make first contact, demand resources, then attack when the planet is vulnerable. "That's what they're doing to us," said Dr. Jisu. "Yes, but they don't know what we know." Do-Yun tapped his tablet. "The T-Zeri fleet is spread thin across 17 conquered worlds. The ship above us is powerful, but it's just one ship." Engineer Sunwoo joined them via video link from his lab. His face looked tired but excited. "We've completed the first prototype defense system. It creates an energy field that mirrors and cancels the T-Zeri weapon signatures. Small-scale tests are promising." "How small?" asked the Chinese premier. "Very small," admitted Sunwoo. "We need more power and more time to scale up." The room fell quiet as everyone considered their options. "We need to stall," suggested the Indian Prime Minister. "Appear to cooperate while we finish preparations." "They want human beings," the British Prime Minister reminded everyone. "Are you suggesting we sacrifice our own people?" "Never," General Juan said firmly. "But we can make it look like we're preparing to comply. Meanwhile, we position our forces and complete our defenses." The emergency meeting lasted 14 hours. When it ended, Earth had a plan. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't guaranteed to work. But it was the best hope for survival. The next day, Earth's response was delivered to the T-Zeri. "We will provide a partial shipment in 30 days as a show of good faith." the Secretary General announced. We ask for additional time to organize the full resource transfer. Mektrol seemed pleased. Acceptable. The Imperium recognizes your cooperation. But as the Tzeri returned to their ship, Lieutenant Do-Yun made a disturbing discovery. He rushed to Dr. Jisu's office, his face pale. I found communications between this ship and the Tzeri homeworld, he said, showing her his tablet. They've already marked Earth as a full harvest world. No matter what we do, they plan to take everything. Everything. Jisu asked. All resources, all humans. Do-Yun's voice shook. They're just waiting for their main fleet to arrive in 60 days. Jisu immediately contacted General Juwan. We have less time than we thought. Around the world, preparations accelerated. In secret bases, factories worked day and night building Sunwoo's defense systems. On military bases, soldiers trained with new weapons designed to target Tzeri weak points. In space, Commander Hyun's ships practiced maneuvers that would take advantage of the aliens' blind spots. 20 days before the deadline, Earth leaders met one final time. Are we ready? Asked the Secretary General. No, answered General Juwan honestly, but we will never be more ready than we are now. Then we proceed as planned, said the Secretary General. When they come to collect their resources, we give them something else instead. As the meeting ended, the American president asked what everyone was thinking. What are our chances? General Juwan looked each leader in the eye. The Tzeri have conquered 17 worlds. None ever unified like we have. None had our advantages. We may be less advanced, but humans have something the Tzeri don't understand. What's that? Asked the Russian president. When threatened, we don't just survive, Juwan replied. We get dangerous. It's time the Tzeri learned that. The day of the first resource collection arrived. 3 Tzeri ships descended from the mothership and positioned themselves over the designated handover points: New York, Shanghai, and Cairo. Each location had large containers waiting on massive platforms. Mektrol's voice boomed across global communications. Begin transfer of resources. In the underground command center beneath Seoul, General Juwan watched the screens. Are all systems in place? He asked. Yes, Engineer Sunwoo replied. Defense systems are active but hidden. Weapon platforms are ready. Commander Hyun's fleet is in position behind the moon. What about the containers? Asked Dr. Jisu. Each contains only 10% of what they demanded, said Lieutenant Do-Yun. Enough to make them angry, not enough to help them. General Juwan nodded. Good. Now we wait. Above New York, the Tzeri ship scanned the containers. Inside were grains, livestock, and fish, but no humans. The Tzeri commander opened a communication channel. This is insufficient, he stated coldly. Where are the live specimens? The Secretary General, speaking from a bunker, replied, We need more time to gather everything you requested. This is what we could prepare in 30 days. There was a long silence. Then Mektrol's voice cut in. This defiance will not be tolerated. Prepare for regulatory action. The 3 collection ships rose back to the mothership. Minutes later, 20 smaller vessels deployed and headed toward major military bases around the world. They're targeting our defense systems, reported Sunwoo, watching the tactical display. Just as we predicted. General Juwan pressed a button. All units, execute Plan Thunderbolt. Around the world, hidden defense systems activated. As the Tzeri ships prepared to fire their weapons, Sunwoo's devices created counterfields that disrupted their targeting systems. The Tzeri fired anyway. Blue energy beams shot toward Earth's surface, but they scattered and weakened before hitting anything important. Some military equipment was damaged, but the key defense systems remained intact. The aliens, surprised by this resistance, paused to regroup. That was when Commander Hyun gave his order. All ships, attack pattern Omega. From behind the moon came 20 Earth vessels, smaller than the Tizeri ships but armed with weapons specifically designed to target alien weaknesses. They fired precisely when the Tizeri communication bursts happened, the moment when their shields were weakest. 3 alien ships exploded immediately. The others scattered, clearly not expecting any resistance from primitive humans. In his command ship, Hyun watched as his fleet executed perfect attack runs. Years of training for this moment were paying off. "Target their propulsion systems," he ordered. "Remember, 17 seconds after each communication burst, their rear shields fluctuate." Earth ships fired special missiles that released electromagnetic pulses tuned to the exact frequency of Tizeri engines. 2 more alien vessels lost power and drifted helplessly in space. On the mothership, Captain Vexlar watched in shock. Impossible. Their weapons should not be effective against our technology. Mektrol looked equally stunned. "They've been studying us. Preparing. No lesser species has ever." Vexlar began, but was interrupted when the ship shook violently. Commander Hyun's flagship had positioned itself directly above the mothership and fired the largest EMP weapon ever built by humans. It didn't penetrate the main shields, but it disrupted the Tizeri's communication system. "All ships, continue attack," Hyun ordered. "Focus on their weapons systems." On Earth, people watched the space battle on their screens. For the first time since the aliens arrived, they felt hope. In the command center, General Juwon received reports from around the world. "Their ground forces are retreating. Our defenses are holding." "What about casualties?" asked Dr. Jisoo. "Lower than expected. They weren't prepared for real resistance." Engineer Sunwoo looked up from his console. "The mothership is changing position. They're moving to a higher orbit." Lieutenant Do-hyun smiled. "They're retreating." "Not retreating," corrected General Juwon. "Regrouping." This was just the first battle. In space, Commander Hyun watched as the damaged Tizeri mothership moved away from Earth. His fleet had suffered losses too. 5 ships destroyed, 7 damaged. But they had proven something important. The Tizeri could be hurt. "Send message to all Earth forces," Hyun said. "First strike successful. Prepare for their response." On the Tizeri mothership, Captain Vexlar made an urgent communication to the Imperium homeworld. "Emergency situation at Harvest World 2187, requesting immediate reinforcements. The prey is fighting back." 3 days after the first battle, Dr. Jisoo made a breakthrough. She had been studying damaged Tizeri equipment recovered from a crashed scout ship. Inside, she found storage containers with strange organic material. "These are tissue samples," she told the emergency council, "from different species." She displayed images on the main screen. Strange alien body parts preserved in special fluid. "But look at this." She showed them a container labeled in Tizeri language. "This says, grade of food stock. Vortal prime cuts." The room fell silent as her words sank in. The Vortal were the species that almost defeated them. Lieutenant Do-hyun remembered. Yes, and after the Tizeri defeated them, they turned them into food. Jisoo's voice shook. "This isn't just conquest, it's harvesting. The Tizeri literally eat other intelligent species." General Juwon stood up. "We need to tell everyone. No more secrets." Within hours, the truth was broadcast worldwide. The Tizeri didn't just want Earth's resources. They wanted humans as their main course. The news sparked not panic, but fierce determination. Recruitment for Earth's defense forces tripled overnight. In space, the damaged Tizeri mothership had moved to the far side of the moon to make repairs. Commander Hyun saw an opportunity. "We'll strike while they're vulnerable," he told his crew. "Captain Yunju will lead a small team to infiltrate their ship." Captain Yunju, a former Special Forces soldier, led 20 of Earth's best fighters in 2 small stealth ships. They approached the mothership using the moon for cover, their vessels designed to mimic space debris. "Remember," Yunju told her team, "we need their communication codes and any information about reinforcements." They attached to the mothership at a damaged section, where the shields were weakest. Using cutting tools designed by Sunwoo, they breached the hull and entered. Inside, they moved carefully through alien corridors. The Tizari were tall and thin, making their ship feel strange to the human infiltrators. Yunju led her team to what seemed to be a control room. "Plant the devices," she ordered. Technicians placed small transmitters that would send data back to Earth. Suddenly, alarms blared. They had been discovered. "Fall back to the ships," Yunju commanded. As they retreated, they encountered Tizari guards. Earth's weapons, designed specifically to penetrate alien armor, proved effective. But 3 humans were killed in the firefight. Back at the breach point, Yunju made a horrible discovery. One of their ships had been destroyed by Tizari security. 20 people would now have to escape in a vessel designed for 10. "We'll make it work," she told her team. Everyone drop unnecessary equipment. As they prepared to leave, Yunju noticed a room adjacent to their position. Inside were containers, hundreds of them, filled with body parts from different species. Their food storage, she realized with disgust. She took pictures to send back to Earth, then ordered her team to plant their remaining explosives. "Let's show them humans don't make good meals," she said. They escaped just as the explosives detonated, destroying the Tizari food supply. Their overloaded ship limped back to Earth's fleet. Commander Hyun greeted them upon return. "Did you get what we needed?" "That and more," Yunju replied, handing over the data devices. "Sir, they have an entire processing facility in that ship. They were preparing to turn Earth into a farm world." The information Yunju's team retrieved was priceless. It contained the Tizari communication protocols, and most importantly, their fleet movements. Reinforcements were coming, a harvest fleet 10 times larger than the current ship, but they were still 40 days away. Dr. Jisoo used the communication codes to do something unprecedented. She broadcast a message to all 17 worlds conquered by the Tizari, using their own communication network. "Attention all beings enslaved by the Tizari Imperium," she began. "This is Earth. We have successfully resisted the Tizari. We've damaged their ships and infiltrated their mothership, and we've discovered their true purpose. They farm intelligent species for food. Look at these images from their storage facilities." She showed the horrifying pictures Captain Yunju had taken. "This is what awaits all of us. But it doesn't have to be this way. Earth will continue to fight. We ask you to fight too. Together, we can end their hunger forever." As the message spread across the stars, something the Tizari had never faced began to form. An alliance of prey species, led by the most dangerous prey of all. 5 days after Dr. Jisoo's broadcast, Earth received a response. It came through the communication device Captain Yunju's team had planted on the Tizari mothership. "This is Naveen of Proxima Colony. We hear your call, Earth. The Tizari have taken half our population for processing. We will fight with you." More messages followed. 3 worlds responded immediately. Others were silent. Their Tizari overseers likely blocked the transmission. But the seed of rebellion had been planted. Technician Jihoon, a quiet genius who rarely spoke in meetings, approached Dr. Jisoo with an idea. "I think I can adapt our technology to work with alien systems," he explained, showing her his designs. "If we can send these plans to the other worlds, they can build weapons that work against Tizari shields." Jisoo was impressed. "How soon can you create a working prototype?" 3 days. But I'll need help from engineer Sunwoo." Across Earth, preparation for the final battle continued. Hidden bases on Mars, Europa, and Earth's moon were nearly complete. General Juwon's strategy was to let the Tizari reinforcements enter the solar system, then attack them from multiple directions. "The key is timing," he told Earth's military leaders. "We strike when they're between Mars and Earth, committed to their approach but not close enough to deploy their full weapons." In orbit, Commander Hyun's fleet had doubled in size. New ships with better weapons joined every day. The Tizari mothership remained behind the moon, still repairing damage from the first battle. They're waiting for reinforcements, Hyun told his officers. We should attack now, while they're weak. No, ordered General Juwon. Let them think we're afraid. Let them call their fleet home. We want all of them here, where we can end this threat forever. Lieutenant Do-yun continued studying the Tizeri database. He made a surprising discovery. The Tizeri have rules about hunting, he told Dr. Jisu. They only consume species they conquered. If a species proves too difficult to defeat, they label it uneatable and leave it alone. So if we hurt them badly enough, they might give up, she asked. Possibly, but no species has ever earned that status. The closest were the Vortal, and we know what happened to them. 30 days before the Tizeri reinforcements were due to arrive, Earth received another message. This one came from a species called the Zentari. Unlike the others, they had advanced technology. We have hidden from the Tizeri for generations, the Zentari representative explained. We built our civilization underground after they harvested our surface colonies. We have weapons. We have ships. We were afraid to use them alone, but with Earth leading the way, we will fight. This changed everything. With the Zentari's help, 4 more worlds joined the alliance. Technician Ji-hoon worked day and night to create compatible systems so all allies could coordinate their attacks. 20 days before the expected arrival of the Tizeri fleet, Captain Vexler made an unexpected move. The mothership left its hiding place and positioned itself above Earth again. Humans, Vexlar's message boomed worldwide. You have shown unusual resistance. The Imperium recognizes your fighting spirit. We offer new terms. Provide only 10% of your population as tribute, and we will grant the rest protected status. This is a rare honor. The world leaders met to discuss this generous offer. The meeting lasted less than 5 minutes. Tell them to go to hell, said the American president. The Secretary General delivered Earth's official response. The people of Earth reject your offer. We counterpropose. Leave our solar system immediately and never return, or face complete destruction. Vexlar was shocked by this defiance. You cannot hope to defeat the Imperium. Our harvest fleet will arrive in 20 days. They will turn your cities to ash and process your population. This is your final warning. General Juwon smiled as he watched the transmission. No, Captain Vexlar, this is your final warning. You came to the wrong planet. As the Tizeri mothership retreated to a safe distance, Earth's alliance made final preparations. Ships from the Zentari arrived, their strange organic technology unlike anything humans had seen. The Naveen sent warriors skilled in boarding enemy vessels. 2 other species provided intelligence about Tizeri fleet movements. For the first time in galactic history, prey species were united against their hunter. And at the center of this alliance was Earth, the planet that had done what no other world dared to do: say no to the Tizeri Imperium and mean it. The day of reckoning arrived. The Tizeri harvest fleet entered the solar system. 30 massive ships designed to process entire populations. They moved with confidence, certain of their victory. All ships are in position, reported Commander Hyun from his flagship. Earth vessels had hidden behind planets and moons, waiting for the perfect moment. Zentari forces ready, came the message from their alien allies. Naveen boarding teams standing by, reported another. General Juwon gave the order. Execute Operation Hunger. As the Tizeri fleet passed Mars, the trap was sprung. Hidden bases on the red planet fired massive ion cannons, disrupting the alien shields. From behind Jupiter's moons, Earth and Zentari ships launched their attack. The Naveen boarding craft, nearly invisible to Tizeri sensors, closed in on their targets. In the command center beneath Seoul, Dr. Jisu tracked the battle. Their communications are confused, she reported. They never expected an attack from multiple directions. The Tizeri fleet tried to reform, but Earth had studied their tactics. Every time they attempted to create a defensive formation, attacks came from their blind spots. We've disabled 5 of their ships, reported Commander Hyun. The Naveen have boarded 3 more. The Tizari admiral sent a message to Earth. This resistance is futile. Surrender now and some of your population will be spared. General Juwan didn't bother responding. Instead, he activated the final phase of the plan. Hidden weapons platforms on Earth's moon powered up, firing targeted electromagnetic pulses at the Tizari command frequencies. 7 more alien ships lost power and drifted helplessly. In orbit around Earth, the original Tizari mothership tried to flee. It was too late. Commander Hyun's flagship intercepted it, firing directly at its engines. "Prepare boarding teams," Hyun ordered. "I want their command center intact." Led by Commander Hyun himself, human forces breached the Tizari mothership. The aliens fought fiercely, but they had never prepared for close combat with humans. They had always relied on their superior technology, never expecting to face enemies inside their own ships. Hyun's team fought their way to the command center. There they found Captain Vexlar and the Imperial Overseer, the highest-ranking Tizari official in the fleet. "It's over," Hyun told them. "Your fleet is defeated." The Imperial Overseer seemed unable to comprehend this reality. "Impossible. No prey species has ever." "We are not prey," Hyun interrupted. "That was your first mistake." The battle in space was ending. 19 Tizari ships had been disabled or destroyed. The remaining 11 had surrendered, something unprecedented in Tizari history. On the command deck of the mothership, Hyun stood face to face with the Imperial Overseer. Earth's leaders watched through video link. "You will release all worlds under Tizari control," Hyun demanded. "You will return to your home system and never threaten another species again." The Overseer's vertical pupils narrowed. "The Imperium does not negotiate with food." Hyun smiled coldly. "Then let me explain something your kind has failed to understand. You came to see what Earth had to offer. You thought we would be easy prey. But you made a fundamental error." He stepped closer to the alien. "Earth is not a farming world. We are not livestock. We are the apex predator of our world, and we've spent millennia perfecting the art of hunting, fighting, and surviving." Hyun gestured to the screens showing the defeated Tizari fleet. "You wanted our resources. Look around you. Look at what we've done to your fleet, your empire. This is what happens when you threaten humanity." He leaned in until he was eye to eye with the Overseer. "This is just a taste of what we're capable of. Return to your homeworld with this warning. You don't want to see us hungry." The message was broadcast to every world in the Tizari Empire. Along with it went images of the defeated fleet and instructions for all subjugated species on how to fight back using Earth's methods. In the following months, the Tizari Imperium collapsed. Without their fleet, they couldn't maintain control over their conquered worlds. One by one, species reclaimed their freedom, many joining the alliance Earth had formed. A new era began in the galaxy. Earth, once dismissed as a primitive world, became known as the planet that freed the stars. Humans were respected and sometimes feared, but most of all, they were known for one simple truth. They were not prey. They were protectors. And the Tizari, they retreated to their home system, never again venturing out to hunt. They had finally learned what it meant to be afraid.